Hello friends, if you're new, welcome to my channel. Want to go down, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any episodes. For my fans and subscribers, welcome back. Today's topic is Yahweh and the rise of monotheism in ancient Israel. Not much else I need to say, so let's get on with the video. Just two reminders. Number one, I choose my comment of the week for my live streams from my edited videos. So if you want to be chosen, leave a comment down below. No guarantee you'll be chosen, but if you want a chance, leave a comment down below. Also, I now have a merchandise store. It is on my website. The link is below in the description. I only have 5 items as of right now. Go check it out. The conclusion of the book I am using for this segment deals with the rise of monotheism. Absolute monotheism seems to be isolated to the post-exilic period, since much of the Old Testament itself attests to polytheism or henotheism at best. A major factor in the decline of monolatry and the rise of monotheism seems to be Josiah's reform in 621 BCE. According to 2 Kings 23, he tore down the high places, centralized worship, and purified the cult of Yahweh. I'm using cult in its anthropological sense. There is a very slight difference between the meaning of monolatry and henotheism, but it is not too much that I am going to worry about it in this episode, so I will be using these terms interchangeably. This was supposedly in keeping with the Book of the Law, most likely an early form of Deuteronomy. Although some scholars doubt the historicity of this reform, there are valid reasons to believe that such a reform did take place. Zephaniah's prophecies date to sometime early in Josiah's reign and condemns the syncretism of Judah and Jerusalem. Later on in Jeremiah, particularly Jeremiah 22:15 through 16, the prophet hails Josiah as a just king. The Yahwistic prophet Jeremiah would not have done this had Josiah allowed syncretism to continue. Therefore, it is safe to infer that Josiah did indeed introduce reform. This also explains why there is a lack of prophetic doom from Josiah's time in Jeremiah. The prophet would not have needed to if Josiah made reforms of which Jeremiah approved. Finally, the account in 2 Kings is almost certainly contemporary with this reform. In addition to the final redaction of the Deuteronomist in the exile, consensus states that this period saw a first edition during Josiah's reign. Among other arguments, only this supposition can account for the prophetess Huldah telling Josiah that he will die in peace. 2 Kings 22:20. In actuality, Josiah actually died in battle. 2 Kings 23:29 through 30. The account of this reform in 2 Chronicles 34 to 35 dates to about 300 years later, which is why it is curious that some scholars think that it is more accurate than the 2 Kings account. According to this account, Josiah started seeking God when he was 16 years old. He began cleansing Judah of idolatry when he was 20, before the book of the law was discovered when he was 26. 2 Chronicles 34:3. Why the discrepancies? We must take the chronicler's theology into account. If Josiah was a good king, reasoned the chronicler, why not begin his reforms as soon as possible? This would have been when he was 20, the age of majority, when he could take independent action. These reforms purged Judah of Canaanite deities, not Assyrian deities, as some scholars have suggested. For one, and probably the most important reason, is Assyria did not force their subject people to worship their deities. 2 Kings 23 tells us that these Canaanite deities included Baal, Asherah, and Moloch, as well as the sun and moon deities. So, what became of the Canaanite deities? They were still worshipped by neighboring states, of course, but they left footprints in monotheistic Israel as well. The 70 sons of El, originally the gods over whom El presided, were demoted to angels, specifically the 70 guardian angels of the nations in 1 Enoch. As for Baal the prince, he transformed into the prince of demons, or Beelzebub, in the New Testament. The imagery of the resurrection of the dead ultimately goes back to the resurrection of Baal, which is an interesting note and something I will get into later. Although I have come to the end of this particular source, I have not finished with this series yet. So if I repeat myself, which I will try not to do, but if I do, please forgive me. I am going to be using another source. Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, press the subscribe button, and if you want to know when I come out with new videos, ring the bell next to the subscribe button. My Twitter, Discord, email, PayPal, and website links are in the description, along with the source that I used for this episode. If you wish to contact me, the best way is Twitter. The next best is email. I am not on Discord very often, so keep that in mind. Also, if you would, please leave comments in the comment section. Not only do I love hearing from you, but it also triggers the YouTube algorithm. Keep learning and searching for truth. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Until next time, friends, stay safe and goodbye.